What's up? Welcome to Cohn and Krueger. That's Larry Krueger. I'm Grant Cohn. We have breaking news. Jay Glazer's made it official. Maxx Crosby is not returning to the Raiders. He's, I guess, done with that team. I heard that a few weeks ago before week 18. I said that there was a falling out between him and Tom Brady. They shut Maxx Crosby down for the season. Then Tom Brady was partying somewhere in New York or whatever with Leonardo DiCaprio. And there was like a whole thing about who's more of a Raider and who's more committed. So now Crosby's out. He wants out. And from what I'm hearing, the Niners aren't necessarily his first choice. He'd like to go to Dallas. He'd like to go to Detroit, but he would like to win. He hasn't been doing much of that, and the Niners do win. So Glazer said it would take more than the Parsons trade. That was 2 firsts and Kenny Clark. So the Niners would have to offer 2 firsts and a player or 3 firsts. And I bet you they would offer at least 2 firsts. What do you think, Larry?
I love Crosby, first of all. I think Crosby is fantastic. I think he's 29. He would be a perfect complement to Bosa. He can play the run. He can play the pass. He's passionate. He's got a couple real good years left. I just think that price tag is going to be whatever it is for Crosby. It's going to be higher for the Niners because they're the Niners, and Mark Davis doesn't want to trade him to the Niners. And I don't think the 49ers are a team that is one Maxx Crosby away. He would help their pass rush for sure, but they still need 2 linebackers, a corner, a safety, receivers, a lineman, a run game. They just have a lot. They have a lot of needs. So I don't know. I mean, I love Maxx Crosby, but I don't know if they have the luxury of trading a bunch of assets for one thing like they did with Trey Lance. It's a safe play because he's going to play well, but it's also kind of a short-term play because he's going to cost a lot and he's, approaching the twilight of his career. I mean, he's probably got 3 good years in him. That's what you'd be paying for. So do you want to trade that much draft capital, 3 number ones for 3? I mean, some teams could do it. You could do it if you've been killing the draft and you've got this really deep roster, kind of like Green Bay did when they traded for Parsons. They could make that trade because they'd hit on all these receivers and tight ends and all these. So they were really loaded. I don't think the 49ers are in that spot. 49ers have missed badly in the draft in 21, 22, 23, maybe 24. If they had hit on 2 more of those drafts in a big way, I would say maybe. But the fact that they haven't, I don't think it makes sense because they have too many other needs.
Here's why I think the 49ers will offer at least 2 first-round picks for Maxx Crosby. They want to make a big splash. They weren't allowed to make a big splash last year. They had financial constraints. I think that now that they won 12 games in a playoff game, given those constraints, they'll be rewarded. And Maxx Crosby is probably the best player available. 2 first-round picks are late first-round picks for the 49ers. We're not talking like the 10th pick in the draft. We're talking like the 27th pick in the draft. And as long as you're going to keep John Lynch for another year, do you really want to let him draft a player in round 1? Are you confident in the Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch brain trust at pick 27 to pick whatever wide receiver they like this year? Or would you like them to trade for a player that is an all-pro and fits your defense and is good against the run and the pass? And, you'd be very top heavy and you have a lot of money tied up in defensive ends, but maybe this allows you to, trade Bosa at some point. I mean, who knows if he wants to end his career with the 49ers? He's a Miami guy anyway. He's expensive. It would give you some flexibility.
Yeah, I mean, Bosa's coming off a 3rd ACL, and you just kind of wonder how much does he have left in the tank and how durable can he be from this point on. Yeah, it's one of those things where the Niners have a bunch of needs and they're all going to get filled, right? It's not like they're going to go into the year with lesser number of players. They're going to get filled. It's just a matter of how do you spend the money that you have? How do you take the draft capital that you have and make it work? Now, if you go in this direction, then you're eliminating your first round pick, which is your best asset. Yeah, you're right, though. I mean, they've missed on their number 1 picks. I mean, that's one way to look at it. But I don't know. If I were them, I think the smarter play is probably trade into the 2nd round and, take a defensive end there that you really like. I mean, this kid Zion Young from Missouri is a big-time player. He's projected to go in the 2nd round. Defensive MVP of the Senior Bowl. take him at the end of the first round. I mean, he's got more athleticism and youth on his side to be great longer. So, I mean, that's kind of what I would think that they would do. But I don't. Yeah, do I have faith that they would take on Zion Young? They probably wouldn't, because he's had a DWI and he's had some rough spots and he's gotten kicked out of a game or two, and he's a little bit kind of rough. So they probably would ace him out on their character standards. So maybe if you're not going to get this player, maybe you got to trade for him. But I don't think they're one player away. I just think
Sure.
that's my big thing.
Yep. I I agree with that. The last time they tried to draft, the fact that, to me, you can't draft another defensive end in round one this year. You drafted one last year. It was Mykel Williams. You took him with the 11th pick. He's not a pass rusher. That's your fault. And you warned him about that the whole time. The reason I like this for the 49ers is, like, they aren't good at drafting. That's been established. They haven't drafted a real difference maker in the first 3 rounds in half a decade. If they hadn't drafted Brock Purdy, they'd have nothing to show for the last 5 years. But the big move they made that they can take credit for, like the big move, they planned it, they executed it, it worked out, was trading a second, a third, and a fourth for Christian McCaffrey when they
Yeah.
did. And Maxx Crosby, he's about that good. I mean, he's an incredible player in his prime, which is why they're going to get 2 or 3 first round picks for him. And would he make them the Super Bowl favorite? No, but he's a hell of a player, and they're not going to draft someone that good ever.
Yeah. No, I get it totally. I just think that the price tag, it's like there's two kinds of trades in the NFL. There's the really select few guys that just go for a freaking king's ransom.
Yep.
And then it's everybody else goes for like a 5th round pick or less. I mean, I think you'll be shocked when we see some of the players, the veterans that get traded this offseason, and how low of the picks that teams get for the players. So players are, the top guys are viewed in a different way. And this guy's obviously one of the top guys. I just don't know if they're in the position, because of how badly they've drafted, to go all in on one asset, because then really the rest of the team, or the rest of those needs, linebacker, I mean, wide receiver, glaring needs there. Offensive line has to be rebuilt. Got to find a tight end. Who's your tight end? You have no Kittle. They have so many needs. It's like, man, that they're going to have to really be judicious about how they go about this year. You can go for a Crosby, but then you sure as hell better be really, rock solid that you can fill these other holes. Otherwise, you're probably Crosby's going to be on like a 9-8 type team.
That's true. And here's the reality of the situation. The Niners might want him. Let's say they have a board meeting and they decide that he's worth the swing, like McCaffrey was. And they decide, we're going to call up Mark Davis and offer 2 first round picks. Okay. Well, I would imagine other teams are going to offer 2 first round picks. What if Dallas offers 2 first round picks? What if Detroit? What if the Jets offer 2 first round picks? All of those teams have better picks than the 49ers. So it feels like, even if they wanted him, which I think they do, I don't think they can afford him. It would probably take 2 firsts and a good player, or 3 firsts. And I don't think they're going to do that.
Well,
I don't think they should.
Here's the one variable that we haven't brought up here. Mac Jones. We all think the Raiders are going Fernando Mendoza, and they most likely are. But you know how many, bad organizations, and I'd have to put the Raiders in that category, get nervous when big decisions are coming. And are they all totally rock solid on Fernando Mendoza? Or does somebody look at that and go, you know what? I have a question. And then when they have a question, is it suddenly easier to take Arvell Reese and trade for Mac Jones? Because let's make no mistake
Maybe
about
they
it
want
as well.
both Mendoza and Mac Jones. You can take 2 firsts and Mac Jones and draft Mendoza and feel like we got 2 quarterbacks.
But that would be the Niners' secret weapon. That's how they get the seat at the table on Maxx Crosby in a trade. If they really do want him, how do they push to the front? The Raiders wanting Mac Jones, because there's only one Mac Jones. The quarterback thing is so, this is the ultimate year to be trading a quarterback, because the quarterback market is really thin. So you know what? You want Mac Jones? How about Mac Jones a first and a conditional 27 pick? How do you feel about that? Oh,
That's
you're
not
good
gonna
with
get done.
you're good. Well, Mac Jones has real value. I think Mac Jones has real value. I really do.
When you say real value,
I think you can get
second,
2. I think you can get 2 day 2 picks for Mac Jones.
What did the Niners get for Alex Smith 15 years ago? Was it 2-2s? It might have been 2-2s.
It was 2-2s.
It was 2-2s?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we got some super chats. C or G Code Travels Vlog says, if Sam wins the Super Bowl, then the Niners pick the wrong quarterback. Oh, hold on. That's going to be our last topic. Wait for it. Dimitrov says, Crosby is too expensive. Get depth. Get more picks, not less. This draft is deep. All right.
I mean, I would have confidence that I could find 2 or 3 guys, but I don't know that the way they've been doing it, if they would take the kinds of some of these guys that are really good at rushing the passer kind of have some warts and have some issues. And it's like, are they going to be on the Niners board even because of those issues? I don't know.
Shardal's been a member for 9 months. I appreciate you, Shardal. Thank you very much. Okay.